Now, as you all know, this is my first press conference in 6 months, and there is so much to talk about. I'm bringing jobs back. I'm picking the best cabinet. So you can all see why I gotta fake this national emergency, right? I have to because I want to. It's really simple. And I'll say it's time to repay the Donnie, and they'll say new phone, who dis?
And we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court.
Also, we have another summit coming up in Hanoi with the North Korean leader, Chairman Kim, who, by the way, is a very cool, misunderstood guy. I'm really looking forward to seeing him next week at his dinner for schmucks, as he calls it. Let's cut to the chase, folks.
What happens when a reluctant comedian becomes the face of political parody? When jokes stop being punchlines and start cutting like knives? And Saturday Night Live turns into a bigger weekly threat than any Monday morning memo? Before we dig deeper, trust me, you're going to want to see how this slow-motion train wreck somehow swerved into comedy gold. Because Alec Baldwin's accidental journey from just another Hollywood dad to Donald Trump's worst televised nightmare is more twisted than Trump's midnight tweets. But first, a tiny favor. More than 98% of you watch this content without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to us. So if you're enjoying this video so far, go ahead, smash that like button and subscribe. Done? You're amazing. Let's get back to it. So picture this. Alec Baldwin, chilling at home. Probably sipping some overpriced organic tea, enjoying semi-retirement, or maybe plotting another Boss Baby sequel. Suddenly, SNL calls. Hey Alec, wanna play Trump? Now, you'd think a guy known for his razor-sharp impressions would jump at the chance. But no. Alec's first reaction? A hard pass. It's like offering a kid ice cream for dinner, and they say, "Nah, I'm good." Seriously? The man who practically lives off dry sarcasm and smirks said no to playing the biggest political clown in modern history? Wild. But SNL wasn't having it. They pushed. Harder than Trump pushing the idea that his phone calls are always perfect. Maybe they just knew Baldwin was born for this role. Or maybe they saw his hair and thought, yep, Trump's evil twin. Whatever it was, they wouldn't take no for an answer. Because let's be honest, Baldwin and Trump go together like pineapple and pizza. Some people love it. Most are deeply uncomfortable. But no one looks away. Now, if you think these two were ever friends, think again. Baldwin and Trump mix about as well as truth and Trump rallies. We're talking oil and water, fire and gasoline, facts and Twitter rants. Eventually, Baldwin caved. Why? Maybe it was the challenge. Maybe the paycheck was juicier than expected. Or maybe, just maybe, he realized playing the world's most orange president was more profitable than voicing a cartoon baby in a tux.
We need walls. Wall works. Wall makes safe.
They say walls don't work. Walls work 100%.
And I'll say it's time to repay the Donnie, and they'll say new phone, who dis?
And we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court.
And I'm not gonna do the voice, but he said, no, me no like drugs, me like death penalty.
When I asked President Xi,
That's why we need wall, because wall works. Wall makes safe.
Saying yes was the easy part. The real chaos started when Baldwin walked into that first rehearsal and realized, yeah, he had zero idea what he was doing. The guy was sweating harder than Trump at a climate change summit. No prep, no plan, no clue. Trying to imitate Trump without ever practicing? That's not brave, that's reckless. It's like showing up to do brain surgery because you once beat someone at operation. Then comes the transformation. Wig, makeup, and boom. He's officially orange. Not metaphorically, not politically, visibly glowing like a radioactive cheese puff. And weirdly, it worked. All it took was one look. Face pushed forward, eyebrow up, and a lazy Hudge! That was it. Baldwin didn't even have to nail the voice. He just nailed the energy. And suddenly, he unlocked the cheat code to Trump's entire brand. The audience lost it. Like crying, laughing, gasping for air, lost it. Baldwin shows up looking like Trump got trapped in a tanning booth during a blackout, and the crowd erupts like it's the Super Bowl of satire. Meanwhile, Trump absolutely not having it, because nothing hits a narcissist harder than accurate comedy. The man can sit through hours of Fox News fluff, but give him 30 seconds of SNL roasting, and suddenly he's doom scrolling and rage tweeting at 3 a.m., like someone just insulted his golf swing. And here's where it gets wild, Baldwin realized. This wasn't just an impression, it was a full-on political weapon. Every sketch wasn't just a joke, it was a headline. He wasn't doing comedy about Trump, he was dragging the man through comedy. One smug face, one Yug, one exaggerated, boat, and boom, Trump's online typing up threats while his legal team tries to remember if they still have LinkedIn Premium. Look, mocking Trump isn't hard, but triggering him this effectively, that's a skill. Baldwin didn't just mimic Trump, he broke the man down in real time. He found the exact tone that hits Trump like a dog whistle, and then he cranked the volume. And Trump? No defense. What's he gonna do? Complain that SNL is mean? Cry that the parody hurts his brand? Newsflash, when your entire personality is based on ego, lies, and branding, one good impression is enough to make the whole thing collapse. So yeah, Alec Baldwin didn't just impersonate Trump, he detonated him.
I'm going to sign these papers for emergency, and then I'll immediately be sued, and the ruling will not go in my favor, and then I'll end up in the Supreme Court, and then I'll call my buddy Kavanaugh. I asked President Xi if they had a drug problem in China, so you can all see why I got to fake this national emergency, right? I have to because I want to. It's really simple. Jackie, what's her face? And best of all, we've got the one rocket with the least money in her savings.
Enough progress has been made in the talks with China.
Look, you're asking the wrong guy.
Let's be real. Alec Baldwin didn't just take on a role. He signed up for the political equivalent of Extreme Makeover White House Edition, and clearly missed the fine print that said, warning, side effects may include turning into a sentient Cheeto. Step 1, physical transformation. And by transformation, we mean hours in the makeup chair, getting slathered with more orange paste than a toddler's art project. That wig, a gravity-defying cotton candy monstrosity. Baldwin basically had to recreate a hair disaster that looks like it lost a fight with a leaf blower. And if you're picturing Baldwin in front of a mirror, squinting and puckering like he's trying to read the calorie count on a Big Mac, you're absolutely right. His wife probably walked in mid-rehearsal and thought he was having a medical episode. Call 911, call SNL, flip a coin. But here's the kicker. Looking like Trump is only half the horror show. You gotta sound like him too. And for that, Baldwin dove headfirst into a black hole of sound bites, speeches, and rants that are basically what happens when someone tries to speak in hashtags. Trump's whole vibe is, I'm the smartest man in the room energy. But somehow every sentence sounds like a drunk uncle giving a TED Talk on vibes. Baldwin nailed it though. He described Trump as a guy who's constantly searching for the right word and never finds it. And somehow he had to make that sound intentional. Imagine pretending to be clever while delivering lines that are dumber than a broken Magic 8 ball. That's the gig. Now don't forget the hand gestures. Oh, the tiny hands. Baldwin had to obsessively study those rally clips just to get the motion right. It's like learning kung fu from a wacky inflatable tube man outside a used car lot. And then it got weird. Baldwin started seeing Trump everywhere. In his coffee, in his cereal, in the mirror while brushing his teeth. That's not acting, that's possession. The man went full method, and the method bit back. The line between Baldwin and Trump got so blurry, we weren't sure if Baldwin was impersonating Trump, or if Trump was just trying to be Baldwin with worse lighting. You want to know how deep this went? The man's brain started running on Trump logic, and that's dangerous. That's build a wall around your own sanity levels of dangerous. Even Baldwin's family couldn't avoid the fallout. His kids straight up started roasting him at 0 and 0 once, breakfast, Dad, did you fall asleep in a tanning bed again? Why do you look like a depressed Clementine with tax fraud? Baldwin had his own in-house roast crew. No script writers needed. So yeah, playing Trump? It wasn't just a role. It was a full-blown, ego-drenched, fast food-fueled descent into the weirdest headspace imaginable. And Baldwin? He survived. It? Barely. But not without sacrificing a few brain cells and a chunk of his dignity to the orange overlord of chaos.